Cruise news time. Well, look, there's already fallout from the rock slide decision in Skagway, major cruise line deciding to change its itinerary because of it. And we've got 3,600 new cruise ship workers coming from a Caribbean island. I'll tell you which one. And look, I practice what I preach. I've been, I packed my patience, I thought. But this thing has happened to me a few times on this cruise, and it's still annoying as heck. I'm a little triggered. Cruise news. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Lido, Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the Cruise News and Views Show. I have to say that because some people think it's just cruise news, but it's also cruise news and commentary, and now I'm over-explaining it, which is something I didn't want to do. I might be getting triggered because of that also. It is, It's Wednesday the 27th of July. Still here in my 100 square foot tiny cabin. It's like a tiny house on a cruise ship. Somebody said that yesterday. Kudos to whoever said that. The one comment that I like is it looks like a spaceship. And I agree. Ever since somebody said that, I've just been completely embracing the idea that I'm on, some version of the Starship Enterprise, and I feel like I'm part of the next generation in my little spaceship cabin. This is ground control to Major Tone. What's up, everybody? A couple cruise news stories. We talked yesterday about the rock slides in Skagway, Alaska, and how they'd been trying to wrestle and come up with a decision what to do. The city assembly there wanted to shut down the dock, and then, of course, the owners of the dock didn't want to completely shut down the dock, so they worked on a scenario where they were going to reroute some of the pedestrian traffic. But one of the docks that Princess uses, it has been shut down. And so Princess, instead of wanting to tender folks into Skagway, they've decided to alter the itineraries of their next few sailings so that Skagway will not be a part of it. The impacted sailings are the July the 26th call from the Majestic Princess. They're going to go to Icy Strait Point instead. The Crown Princess will still go to Skagway on the upcoming Tuesday. And then also, as the month closes out, the itineraries of the Royal Princess, the Discovery Princess, and the Grand Princess will also be changed. And so this is significant, again, trying to keep passengers safe, trying to keep them out of the way of the rock slide, but also trying to keep a convenience aspect there so that passengers don't have to tender into Skagway. There's a lot going on there. But the short of it is that Princess lost their normal docking spot, and instead of doing the tender type scenario, they're going to skip Skagway or alter Skagway for right now. We'll have to see if that carries on into August. Cruise news story number 2. Yeah, this is Tony from the edit. I completely forgot to do cruise news story number 2. Cruise news story number 2. Last month there was a job fair in Jamaica where cruise lines came and solicited for workers. They recruited workers, and the outcome of that job fair, 3,600 Jamaicans now offered jobs on cruise ships, helping with the cruise staffing shortage and also helping out with the employment situation in Jamaica. That should bode well not only for Jamaicans, but that should also bode well for people going on cruise ships as cruise lines continue to staff up. I don't know how I missed it, but okay, back to the show. Cruise news story number 3 is really a story about cruise news. It's kind of quiet right now. There's a few things going on. Royal Caribbean is getting ready to talk about their Q2 earnings. We should get some interesting information out of that. The cruise stocks continue to live kind of at the lower end of where they've been over the last year. So a lot of people still find this a time to pick up some cruise stocks. Again, it's a gamble, tread lightly, enter at your own risk kind of thing. But you do see Carnival almost again at its 52-week low. Royal, NCL, both at low numbers. Possibly a good time to get in. And then we continue to wait and see if any of the major cruise lines are going to drop pre-cruise testing. I've heard scuttlebutt around the ship here. It's unconfirmed. It's all speculatory. But somebody's been telling me that there might be a day soon that NCL drops their pre-cruise testing. But again, it's just it's unreliable information, so it's not something that we can verify yet. But it does kind of speak to the vibe that's going on right now all over cruising as to what's going to happen with pre-cruise testing. I think we'll continue to see more stories develop that way over the next week or so. So it'll be interesting to track along with it. And of course, I will be here to give it to you. Seems like a great moment to invite you to subscribe. If you like staying up to date with everything that's going on in cruising, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of these episodes. I got to tell you the thing that's completely annoying me on this cruise. But before I do that, let me give you some positive moments. Let me just say this. The highlight of this cruise so far for me. Today, we were in St. Thomas yesterday. We're in Puerto Rico today. I think we're in Puerto Plata tomorrow. I'm not getting off. I'm not getting off the cruise ship. I got too much other work to do. To me, being on this cruise is really about this 99 square foot experiment. And then I did go to Great Stirrup Cay because I've never been there, but I've been to the other places. So, but that's the itinerary. But what I have been doing really actively is making sure to take in as much entertainment as possible. And man, NCL continues to deliver on the entertainment. I went to 2 shows last night. I went and saw a great singer, Aaron Shaw. Man, like almost every song in his set was something that kind of hit me in the feels. Really great singing performance last night in the Illuminarium, which may be my favorite venue on the ship. And then, well, let me just give you a little Aaron. Hopefully I can play a little bit without getting the copyright, but this is Aaron.
It's a broken hallelujah.
And then went from there to see this juggler that I had seen before, and I forgot how good this juggler was. Here's a little 5-ball action, but man, the guy had a bag of tricks that you wouldn't believe.
The world record for juggling with 5 balls is 47 minutes. Where are you gonna go? Don't worry, it was not me.
Yeah. The funny thing about juggling, as a juggler, what's wild is the tricks that are the hardest. This 5-ball cascade, not an easy trick to learn. It takes a lot of practice to learn this. I can barely do it for a couple rotations. Of course, this guy is masterful at it. He actually juggled 5 clubs, which is very hard juggling. And the funny thing is, those tricks do not get the applause that they deserve. They do not get the applause that is equal to the amount of effort put into learning those tricks. But tricks like, you know, eating an apple while juggling 2 other objects, not an insanely hard trick at all. But it gets a lot of applause. It's just it's got to be so frustrating as a really good technical juggler to stand in front of a crowd and do your best technical trick that kills, and you don't drop, and you barely get a peep out of the audience. But then all of a sudden, when you're doing something that's fairly easy, you get the bigger. I can imagine that being a challenge. But Jeff was good. But it brings me to my point of aggravation. I've gone to shows every night on this cruise ship, and every night somebody comes in late to the show, which is fine. But what is not fine is walking to the front of the audience when you're late. Last night in the juggling show, there was a whole family, like Jeff the juggler was full on juggling, and a whole family walked to the front of the stage and tried to sit in seats that were reserved. And it was like 20 minutes into the show. He had to stop what he was doing. He had to acknowledge the people. I think he tried to low-key shame them, right? This is what performers do with the microphone. Oh, did you forget your watch? Oh, you can't sit there. It's a restricted place. Basically he had to stop the act to acknowledge these people that were coming all the way to the front to sit in the wrong spot. And it's mind-blowing. I know that we're all on vacation, but gosh, man, the level of disrespect for the performer and the level of disrespect for hundreds of people that got there on time sitting in the theater, I know I'm overreacting, and I know it may be the performer in me that this really kind of chafes a little bit, but wow. I just put it out there so that you can make fun of me, but also so that maybe it'll resonate with somebody. Get to the freaking show on time or early. How about that? I don't know. What chaps you more than the late show comer? Is it the seat stealer? Is it the crop duster? Is it anyone? Do you know the list of 15 that I have? That's the video you should watch next. Time for you to sound off. That's the show. Hope you enjoy it. Do me a solid. Hit the like button. I'll keep pointing over here until it's time for that video to come up. Look, please hit the like button. And unfortunately, if you don't hit the like button, I will be forced to punish you. And your punishment is this. The next time you are in a show and somebody comes late, you'll get singled out instead of the late people, and you will have to stand up and you will have to apologize to the whole auditorium and say, I am so sorry that I am late. And you'll have to do that everywhere that you go on the cruise ship. That's a weird, unrealistic punishment, but all I can think about is these people like, oh, there's this guy juggling. I'm going to walk right up to the stage. Did you see this video? This is the 15... These people annoy me like no end. It's just play annoying, but it's observational stuff for the people that take things too literally. Observational. Watch the video. Tony Lido, Loca. Till the next time. We'll see you on Lido. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.